A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant shift in military production, BAE Systems has ramped up its production of 155mm artillery shells at its Glascoed facility in rural South Wales, with output set to increase 16-fold from 2022 levels by the end of this year. This move comes alongside the opening of a new factory in Sheffield, England, dedicated to manufacturing gun barrels for the M777 lightweight howitzer, which will be supplied directly to Ukraine. The urgency of military rearmament in Europe has become more pronounced, especially in light of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and the perceived threats from Russia. Poland has stepped up its production capabilities, now producing a staggering 1 million bullets daily, which is 5 times its output before the war. Furthermore, the annual production of Grot rifles is expected to rise 6 times to 100,000 by next year. Germany's Rheinmetall is also responding to the heightened demand, planning to manufacture 1.1 million howitzer shells annually, a significant increase from pre-war levels of 70,000. Talks are underway for Rheinmetall to produce armored vehicles at Volkswagen's surplus plant in Osnabrück, indicating a broader trend of military production overtaking traditional automotive manufacturing. The weapons manufacturer has seen its market value surpass that of major companies like VW and Deutsche Bank, highlighting the changing dynamics of the European economy in response to security needs. In a collaborative effort, Europe's missile conglomerate, MBDA, is building a facility with Raytheon in Germany to produce more American Patriot air defense missiles than the United States itself. The Franco-Italian SAMP/T system, designed as Europe's answer to the Patriot, has also seen its production ramp up 5-fold compared to the original plans set in 2022. This marks a crucial development in Europe's defense capabilities, as the SAMP/T has significantly improved its range to 150 kilometers. Many argue that Europe should have begun rearming after Russia's first incursion into Ukraine in 2014, and certainly should have done so when the full-scale invasion occurred in 2022. However, the momentum for rearmament is finally gathering pace, and the traditional reliance on the United States for military support is being reassessed. Analysts note that the dynamics of military power are shifting, with Europe taking greater responsibility for its own defense. Professor Alan Riley from the Atlantic Council emphasizes that America is losing its strategic leverage, and that European nations must now take charge of the war and the peace process. The implications of this shift are profound, especially in light of recent comments from former U.S. President Donald Trump, which have raised concerns about his commitment to Ukraine and the West. Trump's vague promises of security assistance have led many to question the reliability of American support, particularly in the context of ongoing military needs. As Europe moves to bolster its defense capabilities, it must also navigate the complexities of its economic relationship with Russia. Despite Kremlin propaganda, Russia's military economy is struggling to sustain its war efforts, with significant drops in oil and gas revenues and a looming banking crisis exacerbated by military spending. As Europe tightens its sanctions and reduces its reliance on Russian energy, it is clear that the continent is positioning itself as a new arsenal of democracy. The International Energy Agency has warned of a potential record glut in global oil markets next year, with analysts predicting possible price drops that could further destabilize Russia's economy. The situation remains precarious, with the potential for increased military tensions as Europe seeks to assert its independence from U.S. influence and bolster its own defense infrastructure. The Sparta project, spearheaded by the German Council on Foreign Relations, outlines a strategy for Europe to handle the Russian threat independently, emphasizing the need for rapid military advancements, including the development of drone technology and battlefield robots. This project is part of a broader €500 billion national rearmament initiative in Germany, with Chancellor Friedrich Merz aiming for a defense budget of €162 billion by the late 2020s, a significant increase from previous years. As Europe embarks on this path, it must remain vigilant against the aggressive posturing of Russia, which seeks to exploit any perceived weaknesses during this period of transition. The urgency of establishing a coordinated Franco-British nuclear deterrent is being emphasized as a necessary measure to ensure security in the face of escalating threats. In conclusion, Europe is undergoing a significant military renaissance, with countries ramping up production and taking greater control of their defense strategies. The implications of this shift are far-reaching, not only for European security, but also for the balance of power globally. The time for action is now, as Europe positions itself as a formidable force in the ongoing struggle for democracy and stability. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.